It is the Greek Podcast, special podcast always, and he's not a special guest anymore. He's always welcome in. He made the rotation. He's there. Number one in your program, number one in your heart, my buddy Larry P. Larry, thank you.
Good to be back, G. Thank you. A little bit of a hiatus for the month of February, but nevertheless, I'm glad to get the call.
Now, we're sponsored all the time by Brayman Motor Cars, West Palm Beach and Jupiter. Your next new car, that's where it should be. It'll be a great experience. You'll be happy. And treat yourself. That's the main message. Also want to thank New York Prime, always here. Great time to stop by for a gift card.
Nick Wood in the house.
Nick Wood, our good buddy, yes. Nick's always the guy to see. No matter what, you need a table, he'll take care of you. A lot going on in sports. I know you're a big aficionado. We're going to get to baseball right away because I know you love baseball. What did you think about the Astros, how they handled it with the owner, the players? Do you think it's ever going to stop, the scrutiny?
This is going to go on all year right now. They were booed at home at the ballpark, 15 ballpark in the Palm Beaches. It's going to go on year-round, going to Fenway, going to Yankee Stadium, and it's deserving at least.
Now, what did you think about certain players saying stuff? Were you surprised about that?
You know, you've got the quasi-immunity. But still, it's bad. The ramifications 2 years, 3 years later. Trout was speaking out. You see a lot of guys, Judge, of course, in the past. They're pissed.
Now, FanDuel, I know you're not a betting man. Once in a while, you might go to casino.
I like harness racing.
83.5 over/under Astros getting hit. Would you bet on that?
Absolutely.
Over. The Mets got hit 97 times.
They're going to get hit. They'll bring back Ron Hunt.
Ron Hunt, Jesus, it's terrible. What I thought was wrong was Crane, the owner, how he handled it. I thought the players almost like an attitude, don't ask me. The bottom line is, guys, you did it. You got to answer.
A lot of the coverage on MLB now, they're saying, they can't get pissed off at these questions.
That's right.
Because they're going to hear them over and over and over. They did it. There was no bell. Now, Altuve was a tattoo, and this. It's nonsense. And they're going to get it. In the past, a Canseco would get up. You'd hear the boos, or it's going to be every player, every team. You got a couple new guys on the team now, which is, they're going to be the brunt of it. And then Marvin, Gonzalez, he's on the Twins. So he's removed from it.
Now, if the Astros do bad in April home, I think you'll get it a lot. One thing to invest in, you want to make money, garbage cans. I think a lot of people are going to be buying garbage cans at all stadiums.
Trash cans, but they open up, I think they start on the road. And it'll be interesting to see their reception, in Houston.
Oh, they're going to get earplugs.
But it should be, but when they go on the road, they're going to listen to it, and it's going to happen all year long. And that's the absolute least. And they're going to answer the questions because, you can just see now the guys speaking up. They're pissed.
Well, it won't be bad if when they're home because, again, they're going to deal with their media. And right. Like everything else, you're a smart guy. They go to their media and say, hey, no more questions. When they're on the road, they're going to get asked by, the Dodger things, the Yankees, Mets, wherever they're playing. But they're not going to get it from their beat writers because they'll get thrown off.
It's true.
They'll be like, hey, we're not asking that no more. Yeah. It's done. Don't bring it up.
But it's going to go on. It's still a very good team. They're a 90-plus win team. So,
But it's going to matter how they play home. I say April, you bet the under on them. Because I think that when they're home, I think the pressure is going to get to them too. You go home for two, you're going to start hearing you're on deck. You don't know the pitch.
That's a very good point.
You're going to hear a lot of that.
They're going to be pressing, but they're a good team. They're solid. Virtually everybody is back from the last few playoff seasons, and they're going to be good.
Would you take the title away from them?
I would have.
Yeah.
What does it mean now?
Don't give it to anybody else. Just take the title away.
So the coach is gone. The general manager's gone. But the players, would you put a little asterisk next to it now?
Do you think the owner knew what was going on?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he had to.
This wasn't an isolated thing. It went on, and it's peeling. It's like an onion. You're peeling it back, and it stinks. And a lot of money, and you're judged, by championships. And whether it's the Yankees or you just look at how the breakdowns were.
It's a black eye for baseball. Derek Jeter said it. CEO of the Marlins now, Hall of Famer with the Yankees, and there's no doubt about it. It is. And people are going to keep bringing it up for a while.
So what do you think about Manfred? How do you think he's handled this?
I thought he handled it terrible, the whole thing.
I think so.
Yeah. I would have said to the players like this, here you go. You got three choices. Door number one, you don't tell me anything, you get suspended for a year. Door number two, half a season. Mm-hmm. Door number three, a quarter of a season.
Right.
I know something went on, you're going to tell me. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And hardly an isolated situation.
No.
Extensive.
Thank you, my friend. No, there's no
you,
doubt
sir.
about it. It's been going on for a while. And they knew about it. And they
yeah.
were talking about it years later. And like anything else, they don't want to bring it up. Nobody does. Whether it's a company, whatever, something bad happens in your company, you don't want to bring it up. You're in a relationship, you have a fight with your girlfriend, your wife, you want to forget about it. We're still bringing this
Forget
up.
about, but 3 years into the fact.
Thank you.
Just flagrant above and beyond. And the fan is pissed. The opposing players are pissed, and you never, usually, all the ball players, whatever the sport, they'll back each other.
Sure, not
You
this.
got the Players Association. In this case, you don't hear Mike Trout say anything bad about anybody.
Well, you also don't want them to think that you're cheating. So I don't want to be in that thing.
Right. And he said, I'd like to know what the pitch is.
Oh, sure.
You
Stan
still
said
have to
he-
hit the ball. That was the whole argument with the steroid.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
know something? If you look at the reactions, David Robertson, when he was on the Yankees, you looked at his face, he was in disbelief when he got shelled. You go back to the playoffs against the Yankees last year, and, it just, you go back and look at some of that footage,
It's hard to argue.
I think so.
Yesterday was Memorial for Kobe Bryant. I don't know if you watched it or not. I saw some of it. Hats off to his wife, Vanessa. Did a great job. I don't know how she did it. Her life is definitely whatever, never going to be the same. People don't understand. She's suing a helicopter company not for the money. She's suing a helicopter company. She doesn't want them ever to work again, obviously. Kobe Bryant, they said supposedly at his death he's worth $700 million.
Wow.
She doesn't need the money. But I thought Michael Jordan was a nice thing that he said.
Class act. Shaq.
Yeah, a lot of people came up, did what they had to do. It's a
Mark
tragedy.
Wahlberg,
Yeah.
commented.
Did he speak?
No, but they all the comments nationally.
Oh, yeah,
and,
it was great. It really was. It's sad. I mean, it's going to be tough for her now. Because now is when it gets tough. Like they always say, when you lose somebody, I lost my dad, when everybody leaves, that's when you're alone. And it's tough.
Husband and daughter, though, it's just
very tough.
It's just still horrific to this point. I don't know how you ever.
Now, who do you think made that call that day on a cloudy day? In your opinion, did Kobe tell him to fly, or did he tell Kobe?
They wanted to go, but the L.A.
Sheriff's Department said
Sheriff's Department were grounded.
no. Yeah.
So they wanted to go. You saw what that helicopter was. It's not one of these little.
No, it's high end.
It was real high end, but it was a weather condition that they should not have gone up. I would say Kobe said, "I want to go."
You think?
You think?
Yeah. Now, do you think if
Sunday
he
morning
said
and-
to him, no, Kobe overrules him?
That I don't know.
They're going to look into it. They said
I
they might
would
be able to
think-
get text messages.
And if there's going to be a suit involved now, who
They're gonna look
knows?
at- yeah.
But,
well, again, when you're dealing with big celebrities, and most people don't know what it's like, you hear about it goes way back with Elvis, Prince, Michael Jackson. If you start pushing back, you get fired.
Oh, no question
We don't
about
know
it.
what happened, but I mean, if you're like, I don't know, he might be like, I'm getting somebody else.
you had the pilots, wherever, whatever the local airport was, you've got to get authorization.
Yeah.
So, there were multiple people who gave it the go-ahead in a very, questionable environment that morning.
What do you think of them changing the logo to Kobe's image?
Considering the relationship he had with Jerry West,
Yeah, great.
if he would endorse that, but Jerry West, for years, that's the NBA, it's a different generation and time, so.
And what do you think about the people who bring up what happened to him in 2003? Is there a place for that or no? Because the guy is gone?
At this point, this happened, and I think you got to leave that as is.
Yep.
It was resolved, and this was just a.
You might not be happy what is resolved,
No.
but again, nobody's perfect. Last perfect guy died
He was
on a cross.
early 20s?
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Early
bottom line.
20s now,
Yeah.
so,
2003, I mean, is when it's happened.
17 years ago.
Yeah, not a good thing, but there will be people who bring it up, and they
Well,
won't
they already
talk about
are.
it. Oh, yeah, all the time. Again, tragedy. I thought his wife did a great job. I thought Michael Jordan was very good. What he said, spoke about his friendship. Shaq. I like when Kobe.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Brady. Yeah, he wasn't there yesterday.
No.
But he put a big
Everyone
post out.
chimed in, and.
Well, it affects you. You think your own life. You think your own children. You think your kids. You think, it affects you.
He's at that game at the Staples Center the night before, and I just told you take every minute that goes on. You have no idea what's going to happen the next day, the next
Sure.
minutes, and
Tragedy.
It's just, horrific. When those texts and the posts, social media broke. You didn't believe it at first.
No.
But then.
Well, you thought it was a hoax. A lot of people did.
So sad and tragic.
Yeah, but he flew for years by helicopter.
He wanted to be with the kids as much as possible.
Yeah, and he was a great dad.
You look at the traffic here in South Florida, let alone out there, the hours and hours and hours saving by getting into a chopper. And
I took one years ago in New York, and I said it when I landed. I will never.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah,
Those traffic reporters, they go down the Hudson all the time. It's a very common occurrence out there. And,
we have a buddy of ours who used to work with iHeart, who works for a TV station now. Always texts me, "Come on out, Grace." I would
take a ride in the chopper.
Oh yeah, I
can't see you in that.
Can't do it. Are you kidding me? I can wear them in an elevator.
Get a little beret.
I went up 2 floors the other day. I thought I was going to get stuck. I called my priest, my rabbi. I said, I'm in the elevator. I was going to get stuck. 2 floors that I was worried.
I got to put the action in. I got to get out of here.
I couldn't take it. Are you kidding me? I had to go. I had my physical a couple weeks ago, and then I had to get
How'd you do?
So far, everything's all right.
Healthy?
I think. So I went to give blood yesterday, and it was nice. It was an older gentleman talking to a woman, and I'm sitting next to them. So I'm in the middle. 7 o'clock in the morning, and it looked like the set of Cocoon 2. I mean, everybody over 70 years old. I got about 30.
7 a.m.?
Yeah, it was crazy. 13 deep, right? I was number 14.
They must have served bagels or something.
Oh, my God. So the guy's talking to her, and we're sitting between, and he's trying to make it with, hey, how you doing? How you doing? She goes,
a lot of phlegm in that office, probably.
Yeah, she goes, oh, my husband died. He goes, oh, we should get together for coffee. She said, call me. So he comes out, and he sits next to me. I thought this is so funny. I don't know the guy. And he said to me, did she say anything about me? I said, no. So I got called. The woman got called. He goes, I think I'm going to wait for her. I said, okay. And again, I don't know the guy. I said, okay, wait for her. So I go in, do my blood, I come out. She comes out after me. And he's there. He goes, oh, I thought I'd wait for you and walk you to the car. She goes, oh, that's so nice. He goes, you think we got a cup of coffee? And they said, yes. Now, who knows what happened? But I thought it was nice. I said, look at this. I'm part of this. Good, bad, or indifferent. It is the Greek Podcast, always live at New York Prime, sponsored by Brayman Motor Cars. Don't forget that. Your next new car.
Pre-owned, too.
That's right. West Palm Beach and Jupiter. Stop in. It'll be a great experience. You always want a great experience when you're spending money. That's the bottom line. You want to enjoy it and say, this is a great spend. Always at Brayman Motor Cars. So happy they're back in 2020, our sponsor.
Absolutely.
There's a Greek Podcast. Larry P. We'll be back. We're going to have some steak. You can't beat it at New York Prime.
The best.
Greek Podcast. Peace.
I shopped around to replace my Lexus and fell in love with a great-looking BMW at Brayman Motor Cars. And get this.
We interrupt this commercial for an exciting announcement. Brayman BMW has just received the all-new 2 Series Grand Coupe, starting at only $37,500. Come now for a test drive. We now return you to your regularly scheduled commercial.
What are you waiting for? Purchase your new BMW at Brayman and you are in the club.
Brayman's Love What You Drive sales event is happening now. BraymanBMW.com.
It is a Greek Podcast. We're back in New York Prime. My special guest, Larry P. Always good to see him. Again, I want to thank Brayman Motor Cars, West Palm Beach, and Jupiter. Next new car, that's where you got to go. It'll be a great experience, and you'll be happy. Miami Dolphins, 3 picks. Combines here. NFL does not sleep. Would you trade up to get Tua, if that's what you want? Because the Lions are talking they might grab him.
I think you have to.
Yeah?
You got 3 picks in the first round.
21 picks.
You do what you got to. You do what you have to do to get him.
Now, do you think Tua will be ready to play? So far, they were saying he's okay. Do you think he's too injury prone, in your opinion?
He is, but they've been set on him, pretty much since day one. It's I don't know how he's going to be as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
I love Burrow. You look at that guy. We talked about it before, but no comparison. No, that's a Bengal.
Yeah.
But I think you have to take him. And then I like outside linebacker at LSU, Jason, and then DeAndre Swift out of Georgia.
So wow, those are your picks.
And all SEC pedigrees. LSU, Georgia, SEC East and West.
So you go with Tua in the 5th, unless you trade up, and then the other 2 picks, who do you go with?
Yeah.
The kid from LSU or Georgia?
18 and 26, so Jason, outside linebacker, Claymont Jason, and DeAndre Swift.
The running back.
And as a Gator, we're all familiar with both of them.
Yeah. So that's what you did. That's good. But you would trade up. Would you trade up and lose a pick though? You got 3. Would you get 1 pick?
If you had to.
You get
if
your guy.
Had to. They've got what, 20 you said in the first?
They got 3. Well, they got 3 picks in the first round.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot regardless. But if that's the guy and they need the quarterback,
and that's who you want.
Yes.
Yeah. Dolphin Stadium again. They really changed it a lot. They did a great job. I was at the Super Bowl. It was very good. Now they got the tennis tournament there.
Yeah,
that's going to be in a month.
Year 2 now.
Yeah.
Did a great job.
Well, last year they
moving
did.
it up from Key Biscayne.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You imagine you couldn't comprehend that.
Yeah.
Initially when it happened, but they made a little city, around it, and
Nice.
it went very, very well last year, and should do well again this week. It's a 2-week. It's the only non-major 2-week.
Yeah.
They continued that, and the numbers were good.
Yeah, they did well. Honda Classic this week. I am there, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka. I want to thank Tito's. That's always a great thing. Now, with golf and the Honda, it's getting bigger and bigger. Got some bad weather coming in as far as South Florida, not the rest of the country. But it's more of a scene. Golf needs the good weather, obviously, but golf also needs people. They expect over 200,000. No Tiger. You've been at the Honda before, the 4-day event. What do you think of it?
It's great. They benefited significantly when the PGA pulled the Doral. So when that went bye-bye,
Now explain that.
The Doral would have been this past week. They moved that. That was the.
That was at
now
Trump's
in
place.
Mexico City. That was at Trump. So PGA pulled the tournament. A heritage run. 40 plus years on the blue course. It was great.
The Blue Monster,
they would all
right?
come down. That would always be the first leg of the Florida tour, and then prior to the Honda up in PGA, it was the Inverary Classic. It was 2 or 3 different courses in Broward, but that was a big catalyst for this tournament exploding now.
Yeah.
Now it's the opening of the Florida leg. Then you go up to Ponte Vedra in Orlando, but Tiger's not playing this year.
No.
Sitting it out.
No, he just played with the Riviera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was.
I'd see him in the Masters in Augusta. 6 weeks out?
Now, you ever been to Masters?
I have not.
No.
No, that's on the bucket list. I have not been.
You would like to go?
I would love to go.
Yeah. Now, you golf once in a while, right?
Yeah, I love it. I like to play.
But what do you think golf needs to get to the younger generation? Because every sport needs a young generation.
It's changing. The players now, for a long window, you had Tiger, who just dominated. Mickelson was, the quasi-second. Now you got a lot of local guys, charismatic, that are in their, they're in their early, mid-20s.
30s.
I think that's what you need. It's
Yeah.
competitive. You see different guys winning every week.
Yeah.
But
Does that help it or hurt it? Because people are not familiar.
I think it's good. You see a lot of familiar names.
Thank
and,
you.
A lot of them live down here.
It's good to meet you. Thank you, buddy.
You want some steak sauce?
I'm fine. Do you?
No, I'm good. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
pal.
sir.
Enjoy. A little more water.
It's a beauty.
I think the thing with golf is they need people to bet on it because that always helps when people bet on anything. Obviously, Greek, that's what I always promote because you need that. But I think the thing with golf is that it becomes more of an event. A lot of people go to Honda, I would say 50-50. Some are there for golf. Some people are just there to hang
The
out.
hospitality that they've done with the Waterford and the bear traps and just the way it's set up, Doral was different. Doral was more the golf event. You always had the amenities and all the accoutrements. Here you've got a different type. But answering your question, it's probably good.
Now, did you
because
go to
this is
Doral?
I went every year. That
Yeah?
was great.
Yeah.
We would do. Joe Rose would do his show from down there, and it was a phenomenal course. Very challenging.
Did you ever play
Great
it?
to walk it. I've never played the blue.
Oh, no.
No, I played the white in the past, a couple of the other ones, and very challenging. And the players loved coming down here. So
Everybody loves Miami. I don't care what it is. The NFL loves it. The golfers love coming
you
down
had
there.
on a couple occasions it fell the same time as Lipton.
Yeah.
So you'd see the golfers go out to the tennis. The tennis players go out to Doral. So it's amazing, and both of them now gone. Both in different venues.
Yeah, but again, the Honda Classic this week. Check it out. We were giving tickets out.
Great event.
Yeah, it's a great event. Last week I had the pleasure of doing the Great Smoke. That was a great event. Had a lot of good buddies. Had a good time there with my buddy Abe. That was at the fairgrounds. Awesome. I mean, it was great again. Every year, the amount of people that go is
He
crazy.
puts out a phenomenal. I've been going to that event since the German American Club, and now
Yeah.
it's exploded so much. It's
packed.
You walk in, it's great. They give you the backpack. You walk around, 50 plus
Yeah, you
cigar
get 50
vendors.
cigars. Yep.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Food, drinks. and it's just exploded now.
Yeah, definitely.
At the South Florida Fairgrounds. But great event.
Yeah, there always is good. We had a good time there, so a lot of people on Real Radio. Want to thank Abe again. He does his show, Kiss My Ash, on Real Radio every Sunday. You can catch it. He's been with us a long time, but a great event. And it's to me, it's a shocking thing. It's something that started so small. I mean, he started years ago in his village store, and now he's got 3,000 people.
Started at a cigar store.
Yeah.
And now how many? 3,000?
30,000 people. I mean, it's crazy.
It's huge. And it's a pricey ticket.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, it was good.
but what you get back and just the events, and
It's perfect.
Guys love it.
Yeah, guys
So,
definitely love it. So you
great
got the
event.
Honda, you got that going on. Obviously, you got the NFL Combine. You got the draft coming out. I want to ask you before we go, the draft's in Vegas this year. How do you think that's going to be?
New home of the Raiders, so they're segueing right into pro football.
Yeah.
And, all the aspects of the gaming out there. So, at this point, why not?
And what do you think about Brady? Does Brady sign with the Patriots?
I think he has to.
He had on a black hat yesterday, black shirt.
There is
Instagram.
there is no way his last play as a New England Patriot is going to go down as a pick six.
Pick six.
There is no way.
No.
So Kraft will, whether it's a 1 year, 2 year, he wants to play. He wants to stay there.
Would you give him 2 years, $70 million? Where do you draw the line?
It's
the years of
going to be a
cash.
very challenging, negotiation with him because the precedent of that organization as well. They've always cut their losses, whether it's a year early or whatever. But in most cases, it's a business decision. They know precisely when. It's a system, whether it's a running back, receiver, what have you. But in this case,
But with Brady, don't you think the Patriots have to save face and show their fans we did everything we could?
no question about it.
Basically, you know what? If he says no, they're not going to come in 2 years, $30 million. He wants at least $30 million or $35 million. Would you do that?
I think so.
Yeah.
You look right now with the Red Sox and Mookie Betts. They made him $300 million. It's turned down. So it's sports today. It's ridiculous. Different situation.
He didn't want to
Guy
be
at the
there.
beginning of his career.
Yeah.
Wanted out. He wanted to be a Dodger. In this case, you got a guy who's played his whole career. 5 rings,
6.
6.
Yeah.
So
9 Super Bowls.
9.
Do
Thank
you
God for
believe-
Eli.
Do you think teams, though, Kobe did it with the Lakers, they gave him his last 2 years $50 million. Do you think teams owe it to these guys at the end? Or no?
Kobe was very, that was not a.
No.
He pretty much held the Lakers hostage,
Mm-hmm.
going into that. So, and that was not good for the team. It was very problematic. In this case, I'd like to know what the sentiment would be in that locker room. But, certainly 1 year, yes, 2. I think the money is
The other
separate,
thing, they
but
don't have
they've got
anybody.
No.
That's the thing. And then Jeter with the Yankees, too, same thing. It worked out well. He had a decent year at the end. But people, it's always that thing with the final year of the icon, the Dan Marino.
You never want to be that Willie Mays.
No.
And, that's when you go back to playing one season too long.
Yeah.
It just, and it was a World Series year.
It was terrible.
But, it was terrible.
He
It
was
was
at the
sad.
Mets.
And Mets and A's in the series. So not that Brady, and again, ironically, like the same age.
Yeah.
But Willie seemed like an much older man. But, in this case, he's in great shape. He didn't have the receivers last year. There were other issues with that team. But you make a good point. There's no backup.
No, and they still went over a win total. That's the bottom line. They still made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, they still did well. It is The Greek. It is Larry P. It is The Greek Podcast. Always appreciate you guys listening, talking sports, talking whatever, gambling, Prime 112, whatever's on your mind. Golf this week with the Honda. Want to thank Brayman Motor Cars, West Palm Beach and Jupiter, your next new car, and pre-owned.
Pre-owned. They'll take great care of you. Steve Grossman, Danny Bayard. Great
There it is.
operation.
And it's The Greek, and also we want to thank New York Prime. Always great steak.
Nick, Scotty.
Can't beat it. Nick Woods, best. Talk to you guys next week. Stay out of trouble and be happy.
Be
and
happy.
be thankful.
Be thankful.
Yeah, be thankful for what you have. Stop bitching about what you don't have. All right? If my
right.
boss sees this, don't worry about my race. I love you. It's important that we get along. Peace.
So I shopped around to replace my Audi and fell in love with a great-looking BMW at Brayman Motor Cars. And get this.
We interrupt this commercial for an exciting announcement. Brayman BMW has just received the all-new 2 Series Grand Coupe, starting at only $37,500. Come now for a test drive. We now return you to your regularly scheduled commercial.
Purchase a new BMW at Brayman and you're in the club.
Visit Brayman BMW now for exceptional offers during our Love What You Drive sales event. BraymanBMW.com.